The communities of Rockville and White City in Soweto are still reeling after the death of two young boys whose bodies were found mutilated. Residents are living in fear and say police are not being helpful. In fact, no arrests have yet been made. Our reporter Manqoba Mchunu is on that story and joins me now for an update. Manqoba, what is the latest that you can tell us at this moment?
Well, William, I can tell you that it's certainly a story that has left many here in this community devastated and quite shocked at just the brutality of how these two young boys were killed. These were two cousins, 5-year-old Tsiamo Ndlovu, as well as a 6-year-old Ngobizita Zulu, who were brutally murdered here in this area, not far from where we're standing. Their bodies were found just meters away from their homes. And of course, we've seen quite a number of community members just condemning what has happened here. And we've also seen political parties arriving just to offer their words of condolences to the families, to mourn with these families. And one of those political parties is the Democratic Alliance that is here this morning. And joining me now is the DA Gauteng leader, Soli Msimang. Soli, thank you very much for your time. I know that you've been here inside the family, and the emotions are still quite raw when you speak to the family. But what happened here is really shocking.
It's beyond shocking. I don't think there's a mother, any parent, that deserves to bury their child. Worse if the child has been murdered in a particular manner, where your child is actually mutilated. What kind of memory is that you're going to have of that child, the last memory that you're going to have of that child. And I think these children deserve, the Zulu and the Ndlovu family deserve justice. The children's death should never be in vain. This is something that I think there's the investigation that needs to take place. We are told that there's another child that is missing also now, that still not been accounted for. I think this is something that needs to be looked at. We want to then ensure that from a police perspective, that something is being done, that is not just another case that gets put into the backlog of cases that are there, but there needs to be justice around the death of these children. I'm putting myself, in the shoes of the parents, because I have a child that is of a similar age, and I'm asking myself, what would be said. I don't think there's anything that can be said to console the families at this point in time. But we now need to do something as a community. I'm sure somebody somewhere has seen something. Let's work with the police. Let's find a way in which we'll be able to then bring the perpetrators of this crime, really under in a court of law, and make sure that they actually send to justice. They don't deserve actually any mercy whatsoever.
And, there's been concerns around the fact that even now, nobody has been arrested. I mean, when you speak to community members, they'll tell you that there's still even fear for their children to be playing on the streets. Do you think that, law enforcement are moving fast enough in this case?
Well, I don't think that they are, and this is why I'm with, member Chrysan Bosch, who's a member of the safety, community safety, in the province. I'm with the member of Parliament, Liolo, and these are things that we're going to be taking up at a provincial and a national level, to then, ask what is being done. We always hear about, the unresourced police, or the under-resourced police force. But at this time, we need to be asking ourselves, what are we doing? As communities, are we working with the police? Are we able to then also get the police to account for what is happening? At least for, the speedy movement in terms of dealing with this kind of cases. People are now very concerned. You now, as a mother, as a father, or, as somebody who is a guardian of a child, every time that your child is away from you for 5 minutes, you get to panic, to then say, where is my child? Is there something, that has happened to my child? Then we have been talking to the family. One of, the grandmother said, this is a child that was just 5 minutes away from them and then was gone. And then they started looking, thinking maybe they're at the other house, and then they started asking, only to find out that even at the other house, the other child was not there. There is a survivor in this case, and we're still going to try and see what kind of assistance we can give in terms of counseling and all of that. But I think there is a need to look at our law enforcement agencies and then ask them, really, are we doing enough to protect our children? Are we doing enough to protect us We know that, there's murders that are taking place on a daily basis in other communities like your Westbury. And we've been asking, why can't we have a specialized unit that is looking into these kind of things? Why aren't we resourcing the police to do the work that they need to do? So yes, we can come here and blame the police, but I don't think that is enough. We need to also look at what are the core issues that needs to be looked at, and what kind of resources needs to be put in to then assist the law enforcers to do the work that they need to do. And these are things that we are going to be taking from here, and actually even be asking, relevant questions of the Premier, of the safety MEC, and also even at a national level of Begitele and, of the President, to then say, is this going to be just another case, or just other cases that are going to be swept under, the carpet, or be put in file 13, or are we really going to go deep and make sure that, justice is really brought, to the perpetrators that really has, committed these gruesome crimes?
Well, thank you very much. That was Solim Simang from the DA, just also sharing his sentiments about what has happened here. And we, of course, know that the police are still investigating this particular issue. They have also roped in the all-cult units that are looking into this matter. But as far as investigations are concerned, we know that there's still no arrest that have been made yet in this particular case. And of course, the families are still quite shattered about what happened here. Community members are still reeling from this incident. And of course, everybody here is just hoping to see justice taking its course, and those who are responsible, their wish is that they will be caught soon.
Manqoba Mchunu live for us out in Soweto.